We got past Fluffy, the Devil's Snare, and the Flying Keys. It's time to head into the chess chamber for Community Day. I'm Professor Vocus, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
Before I forget to mention it, there's a new moon on Monday, so Death Eaters should be out Thursday evening through like Sunday, Monday, like Tuesday. Maybe just Monday evening. Kind of depends how those hours work. But it'll be around Sunday. So just this whole weekend, just be looking for Death Eaters. Again, you'd have to look for them at night. Chess Chamber Community Day is this Saturday, November 14th. And has to do with this page we're looking at right now, which is just a chess chamber, which is, I like when community days revolve around one page. It really does make things convenient. So the three foundables that are going to be increased, and you can see them on the screen right here, it's going to be young Ron Weasley, young Hermione Granger, and Dumbledore, which are three different levels of difficulty. You can see I've got Ron Greenstarred because he is more common foundable, and then the other two go up, Hermione up to Dumbledore being emergency level. In addition, the flying key on this page, they're going to be special 1 kilometer port keys, and if you walk those, you'll be able to get guaranteed fragments out of those. So you can see I'm 8 out of 14, so if I just get 6 of them, I can make it to silver, and then I think I need probably 21 to get to the next page. So I'm not sure if I'll make it that far, but certainly you can load up on keys at the end of Community Day and then walk them like through Sunday and Monday and that kind of thing until you maybe need to clear out for another event, which will be coming up. But for now, at least, know that you can get that as a guaranteed fragment. And while it's there, it will not be available in fortresses, which leads me to the next thing. In fortresses, if you use Legends of Hogwarts runestones, number 1, if you're in Forest 4 or higher, you will get a guaranteed family fragment, and not a specific one, but a guaranteed Legends of Hogwarts. And the 3 you actually can get are the Chess Queen that's on this page, which will help us with that. But then in addition, the Half-Blood's copy of Advanced Potion Making, and the Dumbledore's Army sign-up sheet. Now, those are going to be the 3 available from fortresses, and the only 3. So you will get one of these 3. So the flying keys will only come from the port keys, and any other fortress foundables and Legends of Hogwarts, there's only 2 more. Those just won't even be available during this event, which would be the Yule Ball invitation on this page, and then the Unfinished Marauders map on this page. Those 2, during this Community Day, so for that 24 hours, you just flat out can't get these. Which, again, isn't a big deal because it's not like they're giving us other stuff from these pages that make us really want them because we're going to finish. So I'm happy about that. For me, at least, you can see Dumbledore's Army sign-up sheet. I still need just 2 fragments, so getting those would be great. The Queen, of course, I'll need for the next page. Obviously, I've got that Greenstarred. But the Half-Blood Prince's copy, I could use that as well. Even though I'm missing some other stuff to make it to gold, it'll be really nice to get that enough fragments. But mainly we'll be dealing with this page here. In the realm of potions for Community Day, kind of a different thing this time. Well, same thing and with a little bonus, little added thing. So Tonic for Trace Detection should still reveal more Community Day traces. Ron, Albus, Dumbledore, and Hermione. It should reveal more of those. We'll see how that goes. But it will be the 1 hour brew time for Tonic for Trace Detection, and Master Notes will reduce the time you have to brew it by 50%. The thing they've added that's a little bit different is they've added 50% Master Note reduction on Extimulo potions. Now, Extimulo potions will still take their normal time, and then you'll get the 50% off of that. Which, by the way, just in case you're curious how it all works, if you have done SOS lessons and reduced the brew time, all of that will be applied first. So you'll kind of have your reduced time. And then if you enter Master Notes, it will do 50% of whatever that time is, if that makes sense. So just look, you can really go look in your recipes and look up an Extimulo potion, and it'll say what its brewing time is, including the SOS stuff. It'll even already add that in and let you know what the time is. If you enter the Master Notes, it's just going to have that, which is good because it will make it a lot less, and Tonic for Trace Detection is really much quicker. But when we get to the tasks, you'll see why you might need to have these reduced brewing times and my feelings about the tasks in general. Moving on to the tasks themselves, you can see the first one here is complete 5 wizarding challenges with 3 or more teammates. That gets you 4 Snowdrop. Remember, you just need 3 people in the chamber, including yourself, not you and 3 other people, as I always remind you. Next up is to use 7 Extimula potions, any meaning it can be potent, strong, or regular. And that's going to get you 1 silver key. Keep in mind it doesn't say it needs to be used in fortresses or not, so you can use them on the overworld map, just going after Dumbledores and Hermiones and Rons. Next up is to use Master Notes 4 times. It's going to get you a Dawdle Draft. And this is the one that I'm not as pleased about. In a previous video, I talked about Community Day and some of the changes I would like to see. It was on my long look back at the weekend we had 2 Community Days. And that Community Day, I wanted it to be more up to the user, us, to decide how far we wanted to take it. So that if we're given tasks like this, that the task should be quick, and then it should be more about the spawns, and it should be about us being able to say, you know what, I just want a couple Rons, a couple Dumbledores, a couple Harrys, or Hermiones, and then kind of be done with it. And what I would liken it to, again, comparing it to Pokemon Go, which I try not to do too much. They're trying to be 2 different games, but there's so much modeled between them. And it's more just thinking about the mindset that Pokemon Go Community Day is how I like it, is that a Community Day for Pokemon Go, the tasks are almost not even a thing. They do exist, but you kind of just pick them up yourself if you've never played the game. It's almost, you really could just avoid them altogether. There's no resources coming from it that it's the only way you can get it, or they're time gated or anything. On those days, there's shiny Pokemon, and there's one. There's going to be one that you're after, which means when I go to do a Pokemon Go Community Day, I could get 1 or 2 shinies. I could get 1 and be like, you know what, I'm good. I just wanted that 1. I've got it now. I don't need any more. I've kind of collected the thing. It would almost be like placing the image for us. It's you've got it. It's already in your registry. You got to catch them all. You've got that one, shiny version. And then you could end the day. But if you're the type of player that's a little more hardcore, you can be like, no, I want to get a better version of this with better statistics, better fighting ability, that kind of thing. Even if it doesn't matter, a lot of times people want that. But again, it's completely up to you to decide how far you want to take it. Whereas something like this, where the tasks are, I would say, are a bigger portion, because they're giving us rewards that can only be gotten on events like this. So it kind of makes it essential. I know it's not technically essential, but if you're playing this game, it seems essential. So to use Master Notes 4 times, even with reduced brewing, even tonic for trace detection, that's still going to be 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It's still going to take you a while to get the tonic. It might be less if you have reduced brewing time, that kind of stuff, but and Extimulos could be less as well based on that. But it's still requiring a time commitment, because you can't enter the Master Notes until the previous one's done. So this task I'm not a fan of for a Community Day. Now, if it was for an event that lasted a week, it's not a big time commitment, because you have that time where you can just, wait and just slowly do it till the next day or the next day, and then you can move on with your task. But for shorter events, Community Day specifically, I think it's not a good task to have. But anyway, moving on, that's my rant about Master Notes and how I feel this task is just out of place for what I feel like the flavor of Community Day should be. You may have a different idea, but I definitely think Community Day should be geared toward the most casual players. Moving on. The last 3 tasks are just about getting those 3 increased foundables, which I'm fine with because they're around. Even if you were being more casual, I think you would be able to complete these without even a tonic. As long as you have time during the day to open up your game for 10 or 15 minutes at a time to try to get whatever's around you at that moment. Starting off with returning 15 young Ron Weasley, which gets you 4 Leaping Toadstool, which are used for Barufios, which I always can use more Leaping Toadstool for Barufios. It's the hardest ingredient to get because you have to grow it in greenhouses. Unless you get it from rewards, but it doesn't just appear on the map. Next, we have to return 12 young Hermione Granger, and it's going to get you 3 Extimulo potions. And lastly is 10 Albus Dumbledore, and that's going to get us 2 strong Extimulos. Now, for those 3, I'm hoping, as long as the spawns are increased enough, this shouldn't be an issue. Hopefully, we should be able to get all these. If they haven't increased spawns a lot, then especially things like Dumbledore, which is going to be harder to catch and that type of thing, it might take a little bit longer. I would say you have to use Extimulos anyway, so I would use your Extimulos while you're returning these foundables, especially the harder ones. The Rons will probably be much more plentiful, and then Hermione and Dumbledore will be less. Honestly, in the past, it always seems like it's that middle one. So for me, it would be Dumbledore. I'll probably end up returning a ton of those. And then Hermione, that's the one that'll be last. That's how it's worked for me for the last many Community Days. It's always that middling one that I just don't see as much of. In addition, keep in mind, this is how many you have to return. So although I'll see a Dumbledore, and I'll probably trace charm the Dumbledore because I want the fragments quicker. The fragments quicker helps me with the registry page. The fragments quicker does not help you with this. If I put a trace charm on a Dumbledore, I'll hopefully get that clone of the Dumbledore, unless of course it's from a tonic for trace detection. Remember that, it won't clone itself. But if I do get the clone of Albus, that will get me 2 Albuses towards this goal. Even though that should get me 4 fragments, 2 per Dumbledore. So it helps me on the registry page, but on this one, you're still going to need 10. So when you throw the trace charm down, it's going to get you that additional clone, and if you get lucky, it might actually produce a trace that's one of these other ones, like another Albus Dumbledore. So you might even get 3, which would be 6 fragments, but still only 3 toward this goal. So keep that in mind when you're returning foundables. It's the number of foundables you actually have to return and not the number of fragments you're getting, which is why your fragment count and your returns count on this these tasks can be different. It can be a different number if you're starting at 0, that is. I didn't mention it earlier, and I'm skipping by it nowadays in my guides, but there will be bundles available in the store. So when the event starts, just go to the store. You can look at them. The complimentary bundle will have tonic for trace detection as normal and spell energy. So tonic for trace detection ingredients, which with the reduced brewing time and you have to enter master notes anyway, you might as well go grab those and have that be one of your potions. It is Thursday today, so you still have like a day to get ready, and I would just suggest looking at your ingredients and see what potions you're going to want to brew. Again, I would go after extemulos or healing potions or tonic for trace detection on this day because of the reduced brewing time if you want these master notes to go quicker. Even more so, even if you don't have time to play all day, if you have time to play, you're probably going to want to really work on the returning foundables and stuff. Those master notes, it would really be good to start it earlier, and just so you can start rolling through your potions so that you don't have to dedicate like 2 hours where you're paying attention. You could actually do this throughout the day. So even if you were up late the night before and at midnight passed, you could actually put some master notes in a potion right then, and then when you wake up the next morning, you could collect that, put more in halfway through the day, do it again, and then just before you go to bed, you could really finish it out then. So then you wouldn't feel rushed on the master notes, and then everything else would more take priority. If you're going to be able to set some time aside, again, you could focus more on the other stuff and not worry about the potions. Let the potions just kind of take their time throughout the day. That is going to do it for this guide. Don't forget, with the new moon, there will be Death Eaters out, so that'll just be something else to look for going into the weekend and through the weekend, and then a little bit after the weekend. Look for Death Eaters. That's on the oddities page all the way at the bottom with the 3-headed dog as well as the Azkaban escapee. The Azkaban escapee. So if you're not gold on that page or you need Death Eaters, this is the time to get them, or you just have to wait a month before they come back out. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Nox.